Look what you have.
Robbie knows the words more than I do.
Oh, look what you've done. You've made a
fool
fool of everyone. Full of everyone. A fool of everyone. Oh, you know, I'm gonna scoot over.
There's our obligatory musical number for.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. Kyle is here. Kyle, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great. It's been a little while. I know we were saying beforehand it's been like a month since we actually did one of these episodes.
Has it? Oh yeah. Oh my god.
So we apologize for the sort of hiatus, but just kind of very busy with life and other things.
Yeah.
But we're back. Don't you worry. We're not gone forever. We are here, and we're kind of. That's going to be the theme of tonight's episode, in a sense. Is going to be sort of catching you guys up on what we have been doing over the last month, because we've been still getting together, even if we haven't been necessarily recording episodes. And we've done some really fun things, some really fun sports related things, two in particular that we were going to talk about here tonight on our latest episode. And the first thing was it happened a few weeks ago. Kyle and I went just down the road from where we are, where he lives here in good old Medford. We actually went just down the road to Everett, not that long of a drive, and we saw both our old hometown Wellesley Little League compete in the Williamsport sectional tournament. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Williamsport is, it's basically the Little League World Series. So every summer, Little League teams across the state compete for the right to try to get to Williamsport for the Little League World Series. They go through the district tournament, then they go through the sectionals, then the states, and then the regionals, and then on to the Little League World Series. And Wellesley actually had a really good run this summer in the Williamsport tournament. They won the district, won the sectionals, and then made it to the championship game of the state finals before unfortunately falling to Middleborough, who actually would then go on to win the regional. So Middleborough, starting tomorrow, will actually be playing in the Little League World Series. So just wanted to, right off the top, wish them the best of luck. But Kyle and I, as I said, had a chance to take in a sectional tournament game that Wellesley played in, again, just down the road in Everett, against Dorchester. It was on a Thursday night a few weeks back. And Wellesley won the game handily, 16-1 in 3 innings. As they scored 10 runs in the first inning alone, en route to
that was nuts.
Quite a handy victory there against Dorchester. So, Kyle, I just wanted to sort of start right off with you. Your thoughts on pretty much everything from that night, the game, the field, the atmosphere, the experience. Just give us your thoughts on it all.
I mean, it was pretty cool, actually. Well, what was funny is that when you told me the location of the field, I was trying to figure out where it was initially. I didn't know where you were talking about at first. But then when I looked at it on the map, and then I think you told me a couple landmarks. You said like it was near a Target. I'm like, wait, a Target in Everett? Hold on a second. I think I might know this field. So I looked at the map.
It was right next to the Best Buy.
Yeah, like literally the Best Buy that I go to like all the time. Because I've never actually been on the field portion. I've always just gone right to the Best Buy because I'm an electronics nut. That's how I am.
True.
But it like right when you said that, I'm like, wait a second, yeah, it's that softball field or that baseball field I always pass by. So I just thought that was really funny. I'm like, oh yeah, and like because I remember when you initially were you're like, oh, I'm not sure if you know where it is, Kyle. I'm like, Robbie, I know exactly where it is. It was really funny. So yeah, it was really fun seeing the game. It was just yeah, like you said, it was like a blowout. It was just wow. I don't think I've ever seen that quick of a blowout too, especially in like baseball history.
Innings. 3 innings. Like that was just yeah, blowout, like you said. I mean, that was just insane how they just they dominated them. It was crazy.
Yeah, they clearly had a very strong hitting game, and like I was very impressed. Like yeah, that was wild.
Well, what's funny is that like Dorchester is like on the first pitch of the game or like the second pitch of the game, I remember hit a home run to take a 1-0 lead, but then literally like I said in the bottom of the first inning, Wellesley just came out like bats on fire and just put up 10 runs like in 1 inning and then just like cruised from there. It was insane. It was the definition of insanity.
Yeah,
that was
crazy.
I felt bad though. Almost felt bad for the Dorchester team because they were just like Wellesley again, just again run after run after run after run. It's just like whoa.
Yeah. I was looking the outfield there. I'm like, hang in there, guys.
It was like that scene. I think it's from The Simpsons. Like, stop the fight. He's already dead. Like, or something like that. It was that much of a beatdown that Wellesley put on them. But yeah, and the one thing I will say is that field complex in Everett is really really nice. It's like a nice it's a nice like turf field with like there's actually 2 fields. There's like the blue field that we were on, and there's like a field kind of on the other side too. Like it's just a really nice complex that they have there, and I just really enjoyed being there and seeing the game and all of that. So it was just a lot of fun to be at. So
yeah, isn't it pretty cool location too, because it's actually right next to
tricky to get to, but that's a whole different story.
That whole rotary is just a nightmare. That it's like
like 3 rotaries in a row to like get there, and you have to like make turn. I may or may not have missed it like at least on 2 different occasions.
You're not the only one, Robbie. Don't worry. It takes a while to even get like competent at where you're going on that rotary, but it's just cool because I like the location because it's kind of out of the way, which is nice. Like once you get on that road to get to the field / Best Buy, it's kind of nice because it gets way less hectic, and you get on the road. It's near these it's near a couple good breweries like Bone Up and Night Shift, and it's also actually near the Teddy peanut butter factory.
Yes, you can see the sign like right next door to it, which was wild.
Oh yeah, and funny thing is you go there during the day and you can smell the peanut butter just coming out of that place. So if anyone in your party is allergic to nuts, I'd be careful with that. So
yes, don't want any allergic reactions or anything like that for anybody. So yeah, definitely please be careful.
I mean, granted, I think they could still like hang out on the field or in the Best Buy or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's I think you're gonna be okay if you're over in that area. But yeah, it was a great night, great atmosphere, great game, and nice to see them win. And any other thoughts from you on the night evening as a whole, or the game itself?
I think we said it all. No, it was pretty cool. So a good experience.
Yeah, no, and then the other sort of sports related thing that Kyle and I did over the last couple weeks actually just occurred last week, just actually a few days ago. We went mini golfing. Another mini golf trip for us to a place that you all know well if you've watched our mini golf episodes of the past. It was McGolf, which is located in good old scenic Dedham, Massachusetts, and we had a great time. Like I said, it was another great round of mini golf. I think definitely is up there in our list of mini golf places that we've been
Oh
to.
yeah,
But
yeah.
golf is definitely one of the top ones. I always really enjoy going there.
I love it. It's like I feel like it's one of the ones we've probably actually been to the most. I feel like between that one and like the one down the Cape, we've been there. Like,
Or and golf country.
oh, and the one in Middleton.
Middleton,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think those are like our
Those are
kind
like
of
the top three. Yep.
No, it's cool. It's a great experience. And one of the cool actually, I don't know if we mentioned this before, because I know we did some mini golf episodes in the past. With the music and everything, like, but there's this kind of cool game you can play at the end. When you're returning the ball. So they have this kind of like sort of like a slot kind of thing where, so if you put the ball through the slot kind of deal, it kind of bounces around and you can actually get a free game if it lands in this like little box at the very bottom. So,
Oh yeah.
It's kind of cool. So you actually do that. A lot of these mini golf places that you go to like actually have this. They have it. They have some sort of way you can try to get like a free game out of it, essentially. Kind of like the one that we went to down the Cape. Like when you got your hole-in-one in hole 18, that's how you get your free game if you want to, which is really neat. And here it's like, yeah, you got the little game. So I feel like a lot of these places have like their own kind of perks like that. So it's a great spot.
Oh, it's fantastic. We always enjoy going there, and I mean, I couldn't have put it better. It was just a great time, and Kyle did win this
Yay.
particular round. I didn't really do that great. I think I had a couple 5s and 6s. Just was not my night for mini golf. But you know what it is? Was we said the most important thing was we had fun, and it was just a great round of mini golf and just fun times were had by all, and glad to be back there as always. Like, anytime we go to any mini golf place is fun, let alone McGolf, because McGolf is just awesome.
Incredible. So good.
So that's gonna kind of, unless you got anything else, that's gonna kind of wrap up the first portion of tonight's episode. We kind of wanted to sort of check in and give you guys a little updates to what we have been up to, because it's been good times have been had by all.
Yeah. Definitely.
And so very, very excited to see what comes next in our sports adventures.
Exactly.
So. What we were going to do now is transition on to the second part of our episode, which we always love to do. And we're going to start off with Robbie's final thoughts for the night, because I actually took a trip myself. Speaking of sports, I took a trip this past weekend to the nation's capital. Actually, I took 2 trips. I'm going to do sort of a 2-trip recap here, because both were sports related, so to speak. So not this past weekend, but the weekend before, I actually made a day trip out to Bristol, Connecticut. Speaking of the Williamsport tournament, I actually went out to Bristol and saw a couple of the regional games out there. I saw one of the Mid-Atlantic regional games between Delaware and Maryland. A thrilling game that was won by Delaware on like bottom of the 6th walk-off pass ball, actually. Wow. It was a walk-off wild pitch.
Cool.
Which is wild, and then, no pun intended. And then I saw New Hampshire versus Vermont in a New England regional elimination game. And that was also a thrilling game that was won by New Hampshire, as they ended up moving on to the next round, where they had then lost to Middleborough in that regional tournament. So that was a lot of fun. It'd been like 6 years since I had been to Bristol for the regionals. I think the last time I went, Wellesley was in it, and I went and saw them then. So it was really cool to be back and see some fun baseball, and it was in nice easy drive. It took a couple hours to get down there, so it it was just a fun time. And the other trip that literally I just got back from a couple days ago, this past weekend that I took was to our good old nation's capital, Washington D.C., to go visit my sister Sarah, who you guys know from past episodes. Shout out Sarah. And part of the reason why I went down there, first of all, was to visit her, but second of all, she works currently for the Washington Nationals. And so we went to two Nationals games while I was down there on the Friday and Saturday nights. They were facing the San Diego Padres, and what was wild about this series was that Juan Soto, who used to play for the Nationals but then was traded back in July to the Padres, was making his first appearance back in DC since being traded. So he got a very nice ovation. It was really cool to see him back in DC, even if it was in an opposing uniform. And the Padres. Well, I guess the Padres. Well, the Nationals went 1-1 in the two games that I went to. They lost on Friday night, but then won on Saturday. They haven't been having that great of a year, so to see them win a game was really cool. And like I said, just being in DC, I always have a great time in DC. It's just a fun city to visit, a lot to do. Got to walk by the Capitol building, got to go to the National Archives, just sort of, see all that is DC, and I was very happy that I was able to make the trip down there and just had a really nice time and can't wait to go back the next time. So some good baseball and sports related stuff for me these past couple of weeks. I just want to kind of throw it in there since we were sort of talking about catching people up on what we've been up to. So that is it for my final thought for the evening, which means it's time to turn things over to Kyle for another, I'm sure, much anticipated edition of the Sue's Reviews. So take it away, my friend.
All right, so I have a lot of movies on the docket that I would love to review, but I'm going to put them on hold for now because I want to talk about my recent experience with going to Fan Expo. So I went to Fan Expo Boston just this past weekend, actually the same time Robbie was up in DC there. And it was a very captivating experience this year. The main reason I went was because, obviously they have all the comic book related, movie related, like stands where you get like fan art, and like there's even a couple of video game stands and different clothes, a lot of merch and stuff like that, and that's all cool. You obviously you can get a lot of comic books, new, old, rare, common, all that stuff. But the main reason I think a lot of people go there is because they have a lot of celebrity guests there. Now, mind you, you're gonna have to fork over quite a bit of money to meet with these celebrities. Whether you want like a photo with them or whether you want an autograph, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money, and that I did. My wallet probably has like a hole right now as we speak, but it was worth it because I got to meet 3 of the cast members of Smallville. Now, Smallville was a show that came out. I don't know, for those of you who don't know, it was a show based on the Superman lore that came out back in like 2001, and it had gone on for 10 seasons. So the last season was in 2011. I think, the last series, the series finale ended in 2011, essentially. So, yeah, it was a very long-standing show, and it was one of the very first kind of modern-day superhero shows that kind of gave this kind of sort of grounded approach, and I feel like it was very influential in how a lot of shows nowadays, like, a lot of superhero shows especially, how they do it, but the whole experience was just really great. I met with the 3 of the actors, like I said. I met with Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in the show. Then I met with Tom Welling, the guy who played Clark Kent. And then I met with Kristen Cruick, who played Lana Lang, who was Clark's like first crush, back when he was growing up in the fictional Kansas town of Smallville. So it was it was just one of those really funny experiences. Like, I really think you guys should, if you like, if you don't get too scared of meeting with celebrities and stuff like that. Sometimes it can be very kind of nerve wracking because you're meeting them for the first time, and sometimes you're shaking. I'm not gonna lie, I was shaking when I met Kristen Krug because she was like my childhood crush. I loved watching her in Smallville, and yeah, I would literally, and I took a photo with all three of them actually, and it was just,
for me, I'd say it's the same. For me, I would say it's the same for me. Like like meeting a professional athlete. Like some of these times you would go these like autograph signing sessions for like professional athletes, and like you're excited, but you're also like really nervous. It's like like what do I do, like da da da, but
yeah,
like so I can totally attest to all those emotions that go with that. So
yeah, it was just like it's just a whole other level. So it's like the thing is, you just gotta remember to keep calm, take a few deep breaths, and just remember they're humans like you. That's the approach I do. Like they're human beings. They're and they're cool with like it was just funny. I was able to kind of like, because the lines are really long there. It took me a while to get to Tom Welling, like 40 minutes I think about or so. Kristen Krug and Michael Rosenbaum was about like 20 minutes or so as well. Still a little while, but it gives you time at least to just kind of like mentally prepare yourself, which is good.
Yeah.
in that sense, so I don't like sound like an idiot, when talking to them. But it was funny. I just got to tell you the whole experience really quick, and then it was just funny because I the first person I was going to meet was Michael Rosenbaum. I went to his line because his line was short. So when I got there, all three of them were on lunch break, right? And all of a sudden, Tom Welling came out. And here I am. I'm in the Michael Rosenbaum line. I'm just freaking out. I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh, it's Tom Welling. So he gets set up, right? And he starts taking pictures with his fans and stuff like that, doing the autographs and all that jazz. And then all of a sudden, so I'm at the front of the Michael Rosenbaum line, right? And he comes over and he goes, okay, guys, smile. He takes a picture of us. And like, so I kind of knew this beforehand because I watched Michael Rosenbaum's his podcast called Inside of You, which is a really great podcast. It tackles kind of like mental health. Like he has a lot of like celebrity guests, and he brings this kind of like mental health aspect to it, and it's really, really great. I highly recommend you guys watch that. But I knew from there that Michael and Tom were really good friends, like to the point where they'd be like joking with each other all the time. So Tom took our picture, right? And he was like, all right, guys, I'm going to send this to Michael Rosenbaum. I'm going to tell him to get his ass out of here and to see his fans. So he literally did that. He texted the picture. He said, get your ass out of here, Michael Rosenbaum. It was hysterical. I was cracking up. And it gets even better from here. So Michael comes out. So he comes out maybe about 15 minutes after Tom Welling sends the photo. And he comes out, and first thing he says, he goes, can a guy have a lunch break? And he's just... So he's just like goofing around. And all of a sudden, he just starts taking these like Post-it notes. I'm not even joking, Robbie. He crumples them up, and he starts just like flicking them everywhere just for fun. He flicks them at like the line. I actually tried to catch one of the ones that he was like sending, and then he also throughout the afternoon, I noticed that he just kept like throwing them at either Tom Welling or Kristen Krug when after she came out too. It was hysterical. Oh my goodness. And then and then during one of Tom Welling's like photo ops, like one of the times he took a picture with one of his fans, Michael Rosenbaum just comes in and he just completely photobombs him. It was great. Oh my goodness. Like it's one of those, that's what you guys gotta go. I think usually in these Comic Cons, there's someone you like, and for the most part, like the celebrities there, they're actually really nice and they're very personable. Because honestly, if they weren't, I don't think they'd be going to these cons anyways to meet up with people. So, highly recommend checking it out. It was just a very fun experience. So I loved it. I was really glad to meet the three of them. I've been wanting to meet, the cast of Smallville for a really long time. So I'm just really happy I met them. So yeah, it was great. So. Yeah, hopefully you guys can get to one of those. There's also Rhode Island Comic Con, coming out in November. Usually the Boston one's in usually every August. I think it's like mid-August, and then the Rhode Island one's like the beginning of November. So, yeah, I might maybe show up at the Rhode Island one. Who knows? I don't even know. Batwoman's gonna be there. I'll probably go. So, yeah. So that was a good experience.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear you. I saw some pictures that Kyle posted from the event. Looked like he was having a great time. So I'm glad to hear it went well. So that is like I said, very, very cool. As always. So that wraps up another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. By the way, almost forgot, but I didn't forget. Our two amazing sponsors. I know it's been a month since we did this, so I'm trying to get my host legs back here.
Get the bearings again, yeah.
Zyman Organizing and Wes Woodson. Shout out to both of them. Listen, they've been big fans and supporters of the show. Also, not just this show, but Marvel at the Movies, which, by the way, new episode just came out recently.
Guys.
So
this past weekend,
definitely go check that out. And the Sports Blitz with Doug and I, which we have a new episode is coming very soon.
Sweet.
Don't worry, folks. A new episode of the Sports Blitz is coming very, very soon. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But yeah, big shout out as always to Zyman Organizing and Wes Woodson for the support. Very much appreciated, and the links, as always, will be in the description. And until, as I should say, that wraps things up for this edition, as I said, of On a Couch Talking Sports. Thank you, as always, everybody, for tuning in, and as always, you can find us here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're all over. And would love to hear from you. So definitely leave a comment and like and subscribe. So until next time, that's Kyle. I'm Robbie. And this has been On a Couch Talking Sports from this lovely couch. And we'll see you next time. See you, everybody.
For the series.
Yes.
For every episode of
Every episode we have to sing at least one song or part of one song.
Of course,
part of the episode.
What do you think this is? Not On a Couch Talking Sports? Yep, and then obviously the obligatory hitting match that Robbie and I have to do all the time, whether it's elbowing or just fighting each other. I'm just trying to we've devolved into slap fights, guys. Isn't this cool? Oh. Oh my god. Did that made you look... It's okay. Oh! Oh. I'm gonna put a pedal guard over here at this point. Jeez, man.
Oh, thank you. I needed that.
There you go, folks. Enjoy the show, guys. I'm just gonna literally sit here and just...
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. Kyle, how are you tonight, buddy?
I'm awake.
Yeah, well, that's great. Glad to have you along as always. And for tonight's episode, we're gonna.
Wow. I guess the topic was so boring that even Robbie couldn't get through it. Jeez.